Michael Zehr Show. Today's date is October 6th, 2023, and we're streaming to you live from the Rising Eagle Studios here at the Warrior Healing Center in Sierra Vista, Arizona. I would like to welcome our special guest veteran interview today, Michael Mercer. Michael, thank you for taking time out and coming in and sitting down and sharing your story with us today. It's very much appreciated, and thank you for your service as well.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Our pleasure. And also, I understand that you're going to give us a little musical treat here in a little later in the show as well. So that's a first. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Okay, so the first question that I would like to ask is, what inspired you to join the military, and what branch of the military did you end up joining?
Well, I joined the Army, and what inspired me to join was my family. My grandfather served during World War II. My dad served during Vietnam. And I saw the military as a way to get out of poverty. I grew up in a poor neighborhood, and I saw the military as being a way to get some education, get to travel, get to learn some skills.
Okay. And I noticed with a lot of our military that served that there does seem to be quite a bit of family history there. And what branch did you choose?
Army, U.S. Army.
Uh-huh. And tell us a little bit about what made you make that decision. Like, were you in college at the time, or out of high school, or?
I went on delayed enlistment while I was still in high school. I was 17 years old.
Okay.
In October of '84.
All right.
And talked with some recruiters, and they got me interested, and then I did all the testing, and yeah.
Oh, okay. What was your MOS, and why did you choose that MOS?
I was used to be called a 98 Golf. Today it's called a 35 Papa. I was a voice intercept linguist, Spanish language.
Okay.
What made me choose it was the recruiters. So they, after I took my ASVAB, I had a really high GT score, and they said I was a hero, and I could pick any job I wanted. And they had me sit down with a sheet that listed all the different MOSs, and there were some that had enlistment bonuses. And
okay.
I chose one that had a bonus, and I saw that I'd get to learn a language. That was appealing to me, to get to go to language school.
Wow. And how long was your MOS for?
The training is for almost a year.
Wow.
You go to language school first, and then you go to your advanced individual training.
And where was the language at?
I started out in Monterey,
okay,
the Defense Language Institute. I was there for about a month, and then they took a handful of us and shipped us over to San Francisco. They had a DLI going on there. And so, yeah, I got to go to school for like 10 months in San Francisco. Was in an old hospital building.
Oh, wow.
Very close to the Golden Gate Bridge. So it was beautiful.
Oh, cool. When had you ever been on the West Coast before, or is that your first time?
I'd gone there with my mom when I was really little. When I was 2, we lived in Los Angeles for a little while.
Because the ocean's really beautiful there, isn't it?
It is. It's cold, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried going swimming, and it's too cold.
Yeah, it does get a little. We were at Camp Pendleton, and we went there. It definitely is. What was your favorite duty station when you were in the military, and how long did you serve for?
Well, I served for 13 years on active duty.
Okay.
And I've been an inactive ready reservist for the past 25 years. So I've got about 38 years being associated with the military.
Okay.
My favorite duty station, I had a bunch. My first duty station was at the National Security Agency. I got to work at the NSA. After that, I was stationed at Naval Security Group Activity in Key West, Florida. And that was some great duty. That's probably one of my most favorites. Being, again, next to the ocean and getting to go up and down, the main road there, and Jimmy Buffett's territory. So that was a lot of fun.
Right.
I was stationed in Panama, and that was some good duty. As a Spanish linguist, that gave me an opportunity to get out and meet locals and experience what was going on there. So I really enjoyed that. After that, I was with the 101st Airborne Air Assault.
Oh, so you went to airborne school then, jump school?
Air Assault School.
Okay, tell us about that.
So I learned to rappel out of helicopters.
Okay.
And we do sling loads, where we would take vehicles and basically hook them up beneath a helicopter and move it from location to location. So it was some high-speed, low-drag activity we were doing. It was very high operation tempo. We stayed very busy. And that was during Desert Shield and Desert Storm.
Okay.
So, yeah, we get alert calls in the middle of the night and fun stuff like that.
Spanish didn't come in very helpful for that, did it?
No, they didn't deploy me because we had the Arabic linguist and we had the Spanish linguist. So the Arabic guys are the ones that got pulled to go over. My last assignment was at Fort Huachuca.
Okay.
I was an instructor. I attained master instructor level.
Wow.
And was instructor of the month. And so, yeah, I had a good time.
Wow, very cool.
And I'm originally from this area. I'm from Arizona, so it was getting to come home. It was great.
Oh, you were born and raised here in Arizona?
Not born.
Uh-huh.
I was conceived here.
Uh-huh.
And then my mom at 7 months pregnant, she decided to go visit my dad before he shipped out to Vietnam in Biloxi, Mississippi, at Keesler Air Force Base. So that's where I was born.
Okay.
But then we came right back to Sierra Vista. My grandparents moved here in the 50s.
Oh, wow.
My grandpa used to cut hair up at Fort Huachuca for decades. So he gave a lot of GIs haircuts.
Yeah.
Used to give me my haircuts back when I had hair.
Was that back at the PX area, or because they had? I know at one time they had 3 different barbershops. They had the one at the NCO club, they had the one at the bowling alley, and they had the one over by the PX. Oh no, and over by the students as well. I forgot about that.
I'm not sure which one specifically, but everybody called him Cherokee.
Okay.
If some of the older vets might know him, but he was a really great guy.
Oh, wow.
My mom went to Buena High School, and my dad went to Tombstone High, and I did kindergarten over at Carmichael.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm originally from this area. I've been
coming
back here over and over again.
So you've seen a lot of changes then here.
Definitely. I remember back in the day, if you blinked your eyes, you'd miss Sierra Vista.
Yeah.
It would just drive right by it.
Yeah, now we got... we just keep growing and growing and growing, and we haven't stopped. We're still adding more and more businesses and stuff here, so it's great. And then, so tell us a little bit about what it meant to you to personally serve in the military.
It was an honor. So to me, every time I put on the uniform, I felt like I was wearing the American flag because I was representing our country. So it was something I took very dearly to my heart.
Wow. And do you come across like a lot of new people that are thinking about going into the military, and do you get a chance to talk to them, or do they ask you for your advice or anything like that?
My cousin's son just recently joined the Navy. So we have more family going into the military. So I do occasionally come across some folks. Advice I would give somebody that's thinking about joining the military is to take full advantage of the education opportunities. Don't make some mistakes that I made along the way. When I went into my MOS, it had an enlistment bonus, but I found out the hard way that if you didn't have your high school diploma finished, that you would lose that bonus. And I did that. When everybody graduated and walked across the stage, all my classmates got a check for $8,000. And I didn't get mine because I had finished 4 years of high school, but I didn't have all the sufficient credits.
Okay.
I later did my GED in the state of Maryland while I was stationed at NSA. They gave me a high school diploma. So I did go to college while I was at Fort Campbell. They had a reenlistment program where I got to take time off work and attend school full time. And I was taking day and night classes, as many classes as I possibly could, and I got my associate's degree that way.
Well, you know, Michael, knowing how high you scored on the ASVAB test should have given you a lot of confidence when you were taking that GED test, right?
Yeah, it was easy. I scored really high, and that's why the state of Maryland awarded me that diploma. So
yeah. So we talked about what advice that you would give and your positive experience and stuff like that. I wanted to go back because you had mentioned something about you had served in Panama, and with your Spanish speaking, what would you call it? Just Spanish speaking. Help me out here a little bit. I'm stuck.
Abilities?
Okay, yeah. Okay, Spanish speaking abilities. What was it like being able to go in and interact with the community in Panama? Like you were able to go in and talk to the local people there and tell us a little bit like what it was like maybe to go in and on your off-duty days maybe to go in and enjoy some of the cuisine and stuff like that. Give us a little bit of idea what it was like for you in Panama.
Well, I had some really cool experiences. I did a language immersion program while I was there, so we were trying to increase our language proficiencies always.
Okay.
And I got the opportunity to go and live with a Panamanian family for a month.
Oh my, that had to be really a good experience.
Yeah, I lived with a family, the Esquivels. They gave me an honorary name of Miguel Esquivel.
Miss Miguel, yeah.
And that was in David, Panama, close to the Costa Rican border. And they were really sweet people. Took me into their home, and I went to the Alianza Francesa, ironically, the French alliance,
Okay.
where I studied Spanish. But we had basically one-on-one instruction with our instructors, and they were very kind. They invited us into their home. I got to go and experience Mother's Day in Panama with the Panamanian family. They had a farm. They were originally from Italy, the folks that lived there, and they had planted pine trees, ironically. So they had like a pine forest in Panama. I got to pick coffee beans right off the plant.
Oh, wow.
I was who was that guy that was always picking the coffee beans? One. But yeah, it was great to get to experience that, to be in with the family and have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with them. And as far as getting out into the community, there was markets that I would go to, and I traveled around some really beautiful locations, some historic locations in Panama. Some very
Like where?
There's some old forts where they that were built hundreds of years ago.
Okay.
And they still had some of the old cannons sitting up on the the fortress walls. You could go and take pictures and stuff like that. Did snorkeling. Fishing was phenomenal in Panama. So my quarters were a third of a mile from Lake Gatun, which is a lake that was formed when they built the Panama Canal. And it has both a mixture of salt water and fresh water.
I was going to ask you that, yeah.
They had peacock bass, and they were the easiest fishing I've ever done. You couldn't help but catch fish. It was.
Were they pretty good size?
Yeah, from if you caught a little one, you could cut it up and use it as bait to catch a bigger one.
To catch a bigger one?
Yeah. They also had tarpon in that lake, but I never hooked one of them. I would try. I would take out my deep sea rod just in case, hope I'd hook onto one of them. But they would rent little 20-foot John boats at the Aquativity Center there close to my house. And we get out on the lake pretty much every weekend and catch some good fish and bring it back to eat. The Native Americans down there, the Kuna tribe, they usually had several guys that would be there at the Aquativity Center, and they would gut and clean your fish for a dime a piece.
Wow.
So yeah, you didn't even have to get your hands dirty. That's
cool.
It was super easy fishing and good eating.
And what a great way for them to make some money too, right?
Yeah, they would take the stuff that they would gut out of the fish and they'd toss it over the edge of the dock there, and there were all these caimans, so kind of like a crocodile.
Uh-huh.
And they were kind of scary. They came and snatched one lady's collie while she was walking her dog.
Oh,
next to the
no.
lake. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Oh.
Panama was both good. There was still some stuff that was a little scary because I got there just after Just Cause. And first thing I saw after the airport was big letters sprayed on the wall, Fuera Yankee de Panama, which means Yankee go home, basically.
Uh-huh.
So there was a lot of people that loved us down there, and there were some people that didn't love our military so much. So you had a little experience of both. But while I was there was still some rioting that would go on, and they'd burn tires in the streets, and there were times we had to draw our weapons when we'd go to work.
Was Noriega still in power at that time?
No, he was out of power.
Okay.
When I flew to David, Panama, I got to see one of his airplanes there at the airport. It was still riddled with bullet holes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
But yeah, there's some beautiful places. There's a place called Boquete. They had a beautiful waterfall, and they'd have a market there where they'd sell crafts from the natives, and you could get some really beautiful artwork at really great prices. Food was super cheap. I remember this restaurant I went to in Panama City called La Cascada.
La Cascada, what does that mean?
That means the waterfall.
Okay.
And they had a man-made waterfall inside the restaurant, and
Ooh.
they had a pool that went around the restaurant like a U shape, and they had all these koi fish swimming around, and you'd sit at your table with the koi fish swimming by, and they had a little lamp on your table. You'd pull the cord, and it would turn on like a red light bulb.
Right.
And they had just like a gaggle of waitresses waiting to see one of those lights go off, and they'd run just to your table just as fast as they could. So it was like some of the best service that I've ever seen. But yeah, the food was super cheap. I ordered a shrimp platter there once, and it was like a mountain of shrimp. There was just so much food. I was like, this is food for a whole family, not for one person.
Per person.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Where else did you go in there to eat in Panama? What other places?
There was a place I ate at that was called Los Cañones, or the Cannons.
Okay.
And it was close to a historic fortress. And that place was phenomenal. They had these bohíos, so like a little ramada area right next to the beach.
Okay.
And it had hammocks. And while you're waiting for your food, you could just kick back in a hammock and right next to the ocean with the breeze blowing in. It was phenomenal.
What is some of the Panamanian cuisine there? What are some of their like popular dishes that they're known for?
Arroz con pollo, so rice with chicken. Arroz con gandules, so rice with beans, are some of the most popular. Panama is really unique though because it being next to the canal, you had people from all over the world that would come and settle there. I remember going to a restaurant called Siciliano, so the Sicilian, and they had a brick pizza oven, and they'd make some of the best oven-baked pizzas. I thought it was unique because they put stuff on their pizzas that we don't normally, like fish and chicken and things like that. So it was a little different, but yeah, the phenomenal pizza, and you couldn't get more authentic than to have it made by Sicilians.
Yeah. Wow, I got my mouth salivating. We got Fun Food Friday is today. So now at least when we get time to eat here in the next couple hours, I'll be good and hungry to eat now. You just got the appetites in my belly rolling for that one.
Yeah.
So obviously, I guess I know how you ended up settling here in Sierra Vista since you were here young, and then, as you said, you had been stationed back at Fort Huachuca. Was Fort Huachuca your last duty station before you got out?
It was. Yeah, I was teaching up there at the schoolhouse, and my MOS was overstrength. They had too many Spanish linguists, and the Army was going through a reduction in force, and they offered me a voluntary separation incentive. and so I exited the military.
What year was this?
In 1998.
98? Okay.
In hindsight, I should have stayed in. Not long after I got out, I developed some health problems from all my service injuries, all the little sports injuries and stuff that I got doing PT over the years. Resulted in arthritis, and arthritis medicine over the decades unfortunately caused some pretty bad gastrointestinal issues. So
and you did go to the VA, right, and establish your VA health benefits and got your VA disability, right?
I didn't right away.
Okay.
So that's a kind of a sad story.
I know so many service members do that. They wait.
Yeah, in 2003, I got a medical deferment. I wasn't able to ship over to the Gulf because of my health problems. And I should have gotten into the VA at that time.
Right.
But I kind of toughed it out, and it wasn't 2017 and 2018. I ended up in the ICU several times, and in 2003, 2020, I finally tried to get into the VA. Didn't exactly know how to do it. I was trying to get eligibility to see doctors first before I had filed a claim.
Right. So you could get your diagnoses established and all that, yeah.
In my mind, I needed to get the health care first so they could do the diagnosis.
Right.
But I learned that it's the other way around, that you need to submit your health problems through the claims department first to gain that eligibility. So, yeah, in 2020, it didn't work out. In this last year, I met Bev here, and she told me about the Warrior Healing Center, and I came over here, and they helped me fill out my paperwork, and I also went through the DAV, and they helped me submit my packet of 123 pages. They said it was one of the biggest they'd ever sent forward.
Yeah. Do you remember who helped you by any chance, or? We have a lot of good service officers over there, so.
I think his name is Joseph. He wears a cowboy hat.
Oh, I know who it is. Joe Baeza, right?
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, they helped me submit all that, and I'm waiting now for them to come back and make their decision. I have recently gained eligibility to see the VA, so I have an appointment this next week to meet with a doctor.
Okay.
So, things are moving forward, and I'm finally getting some help that I needed. So I'm very thankful to the Warrior Healing Center for helping me move forward with that.
Can you, and I think you just did a great job explaining what it was that you personally went through, but can you help me appeal to some of our service members that are going to see this and have yet to get off their butt and get into it doesn't have to be the DAV, it could be the VFW, it could be the American Legion, any service organization, but they wait and they don't file these claims, and then until they like what you're saying, and when you got sicker, then we need to get these service members in and get them motivated to get their claims filed.
Absolutely. You can't give up. It is a mountain of paperwork that you got to go through, and you kind of got to jump through some hoops. Coming to a place like the Warrior Healing Center, I was able to network and gain camaraderie and talk with other veterans that had been through the process, and they gave me some good advice, that somehow it seems like they don't want you, like the VA doesn't want you to file because it's just too much of a hassle.
Right.
But you got to overcome that. So you got to keep doing what you need to do to make it happen, and you shouldn't give up.
And the claims process has been really streamlined now. They don't do a lot of snail mail. Most everything now is done electronically when the claim is submitted, which makes it a lot quicker for the veteran.
Yeah, I understand that. I've talked with some other guys, and they're saying that claims are getting processed in as little as 4 months now. So I submitted mine back in mid-June, so we should be hearing something here in the coming months. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe's a good guy. He's the current senior vice right now over at the DAV as well. So thanks, Joe, for doing that. What is your favorite thing about living here in Cochise County?
Well, it's a homecoming for me. I'll tell you that the mountains. The mountains, they anchor me. When I was stationed all these different places, living in different parts of the world, I missed seeing those mountains, the sunrises and the sunsets. There's something about that that just makes me feel like I'm at home. I love the outdoor opportunities that are here, all the different hiking trails, the San Pedro River. I live out in Hereford, so we have a $1 million view of
the sky,
the Mustang Mountains and the Huachuca Mountains. So we watch. We're very avid sunset and sunrise watchers. This is the bird capital of the world. If you like to watch birds, we have a bird feeder in front of our house, and it's just great to see all the different birds.
Especially the hummingbirds, right?
Absolutely, the hummingbirds are beautiful. They're iridescent colors that they give off, but we get all kinds of different birds that come through here.
Yeah. Do you do any kind of volunteer work here in our community, or is there anything that you're like passionate about that for helping around in our community?
I did some volunteer work for the Sierra Vista Art and Humanities Commission. In 2020, they had a Art of 2020 kind of contest or exhibit, and they said you could submit any kind of artwork. And my wife and I, we made a music video, and that's available if you go to the City of Sierra Vista. You can see that.
I'd like to see that. What's the link on that again?
The song is called "Plenty of 2020."
Okay.
And if you go to, if you just put Sierra Vista 2020, it should pop up in YouTube.
All right.
But yeah, we wrote a fun little song just to try to get people feeling more positive, because everybody knows during COVID it was a dark time for everybody.
Yes.
So we're trying to put something together that would shine some light and help everybody work together and get through that troubling time. The other thing that I'm about to start doing, I'm meeting with Evie this next Tuesday, and I'm going to start doing volunteer work here at the Warrior Healing Center.
Oh man, we're going to love having you here. Thank you for doing that.
Another thing that I've done is I wrote a song.
Yes.
A little jingle.
Yes.
About the Warrior Healing Center.
Yes. So please enlighten us with your.
Okay. I'll grab my guitar.
And what's the name of the song?
I just call it the Warrior Healing Center.
The Warrior Healing Center? Okay.
Yeah.
This could be their theme song.
We'll see if everybody likes it, and maybe we can go further with it. But I really feel like the Warrior Healing Center helped me out, especially when dealing with things like anxiety, depression, anger. I've been meeting with the PTSD group here, and those guys have given me hope, helped me get through that stuff, and let me know that I'm not the only one that has those kind of feelings. So it's been very helpful to me, and that's kind of the inspiration behind why I wrote this little jingle.
Well, slide on over this way just a little bit so you can be in front of the mic there. There you go.
Okay. When a veteran feels alone, they can pick up the phone and call the Warrior Healing Center. If post-traumatic stress has made your life a mess, visit the Warrior Healing Center. Don't ever give up hope, they can help you cope at the Warrior Healing Center. A place for vets to meet or get something to eat at the Warrior Healing Center. Because life's not done, come and have some fun at the Warrior Healing Center. You can volunteer and bring a vet and some cheer. You'll love the Warrior Healing Center.
Wow, that is cool. Very good. So you can write songs. Another little talent of yours, huh? Tell us about the flute class that you just graduated from as well, if you would, please. and let our veterans know about it, about the class.
So they have a program here called Flutes for Vets. And if you're a veteran and you attend class for 12 hours, you get rewarded with a Native American flute. And this is my graduation flute. And they've taught me to play the flute. I've been a musician for decades. I play bass guitar and piano and drums and lots of stuff, but I got to add this new instrument. I found the class is very helpful dealing with anger issues, again, depression or anxiety, getting in there and playing the music and hearing the other veterans playing their music. It's very soothing to me. It helps me calm down and feel more positive. And if I could, I'd like to
please
share some of what they've
yes.
they've taught us. Now, we do something in class. It's called Playing Your Heart Song, and it's basically playing some improvisational music, just something that you're making up in the moment. And we go around the circle, and everybody takes their turn playing their heart song. So just something from your heart. And let's see what we can do here.
Very good. Very good. You know, I would encourage you, and I want to invite you and any of the Flutes for Vets class. The live stream studio is always here. Any guys you want to use it?